I really do like doing these post-game things, but I really don't like doing them when the Celtics lose. And that's on me. I need to respond better to losses, but it really does ruin a good portion of my day. For someone who's not on the team or doesn't work for the team, has never been paid by the team, it affects my day in a way it probably shouldn't. That being said, if you're a Celtics fan, you're probably bummed out tonight too. They lost 2 games in a row to one of their main rivals in the Eastern Conference, a team that you're going to probably be neck and neck with in the standings towards the end of the year. So now the tiebreaker gets more complicated. You have to sweep them when they come to Boston later in the year just to get a potential tiebreaker, and then it goes to conference record. So it hurts you to lose those 2 games to Philly. It's still obviously early in the season, and you didn't have Jason Tatum, so people will say, don't worry about it. You didn't have your best player, or maybe Jaylen Brown's their best player. He's making a real case for it, but one of your 2 best players. And, Philly still had their full roster tonight, and Embiid was playing excellent. But still, you're good enough to have been able to get a split there, and not getting that is disappointing. I think as a Celtics fan, you need to look at it that way, is that the result of these past 2 games is disappointment. Listen, they hung in both of them. They didn't get blown out, but they didn't play well enough to win, and you saw it in the second half of both games. Tonight, it was really in the third quarter that bit them in the ass, and the game before was the fourth quarter that bit them in the ass. This team, it's frustrating, and you saw it rear its head in the bubble too. They just don't play complete games that often. You end up having a quarter or 2 sometimes that's just real stinkers, and it ends up sinking them. And that happened tonight with the third quarter, which is the quarter that's been the Celtics' bugaboo for a while now. So ultimately, the final score was 122-110. Jaylen Brown had a career night. Like I said, nothing but positives to say about him. He had 42 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, a block, and shot 16 of 28 from the floor, 5 of 8 from 3. Was really just tremendous the whole night. Engaged offensively. I thought he played really well. Obviously, the 42 points was a game high. Scored timely buckets, threes, inside, made the right passes, was finishing at the rim, getting to the free throw line. I mean, everything you could ask for a star player, Jaylen was giving you tonight. And he was doing it against a team that's very good defensively. He was doing it in the paint against Joel Embiid. He was able to take it to him, too, who's one of the better defensive players in the league. And so you can't say enough about Jaylen Brown and how well he's been playing this season. I tweeted this out, and that he's not playing at an all-star level. He's playing at an all-NBA level. He's playing that well. Magic Johnson, I know, just put him in his top 5 MVP candidates. Some people laughed at him. I wouldn't laugh at him. That's legit. Jaylen Brown is playing as well as virtually anybody in the NBA this season. That may sound homerish of me, but check the game film. Look at the stats. It's a fact. Jaylen Brown is playing fantastic and is deserving of every accolade that's being given to him right now. And he showed that again tonight. He just didn't get enough help from his teammates. Kemba Walker was okay, not terrible, not great. What was terrible was, shooting 1 of 7 from 3 is really shitty. That's god awful. So I take that back. Not so great. He did have 19 points and 5 assists and 3 steals. So the 3-point shooting, he's not going to shoot 1 of 7 every night. Marcus Smart, 20 points. The numbers are a little deceiving. 20 points, 7 assists, 2 steals looks pretty good. He did shot 7 of 17 from the floor. Had a couple of bad turnovers, which is unusual for him. You got nothing out of your other 2 starters. Grant Williams played 11 minutes, had 3 points, sucked on defense, was getting abused by Joel Embiid, wasn't doing anything offensively, was getting just stopped, couldn't get anything going, showed no aptitude for playing in the post. Tristan Thompson, was brought in, was very much ballyhooed as, this guy is a defensive force. He's so strong. Embiid's going to have a hard time moving him. Well, Tristan Thompson had 4 points and 5 rebounds and 5 fouls tonight. Joel Embiid had 38 points and 11 rebounds tonight. So I don't know that that's much of, if all, an improvement from where the Celtics have been with Joel Embiid. I don't think Thompson's lived up even a little bit to the hype surrounding that signing. He has not been good enough. It's fair to say he didn't have a camp with the team and that he has thrown into this situation very quickly. But there's so much hype around that signing, saying, oh, man, this is the missing piece. I know Kendrick Perkins said that. A lot of Celtics fans and bloggers saying, this is a great fit, much better fit than Miles Turner. We don't always have to bring it back to Miles Turner, but just the fact is that Tristan Thompson hasn't been good enough, and he got abused these past 2 nights by Joel Embiid. And, that's sort of what he was brought in here to do, was give them some viable option defensively against Embiid. Didn't do it tonight. If you look at the bench, Robert Williams got his first action back from COVID. He looked a little out of sorts. He's still crazy athletic, but like the timing was weird on his jumps. I thought Green was okay off the bench. He missed a couple of easy threes that really should have put down. The big news, obviously, is from the guys who are off the bench, is Peyton Pritchard went down with a scary knee injury. I don't have any idea what it could be. I know the Celtics are saying a knee sprain. Knee sprain is a catch-all when they don't do imaging. It's just like he has a knee. It's basically saying he has a knee injury. Knee sprain could mean he's anywhere from he has a knee bruise to he tore his ACL. Him being on the bench at the end of the game, people were saying, oh, what a great sign. They're flying right back to Boston after the game because of COVID protocols and stuff. He had nowhere else to really go. So I wouldn't read anything into that. I could see it going either way, too. I mean, it's weird. Usually those ACL injuries, which would be a season ender, if that's what it is, are non-contact. And this was, slightly contact in that Jaylen Brown sort of bumped into his knee. That being said, I saw a lot of people on Twitter were saying that it looked like he mouthed it popped, which obviously would not be good if he dislocated his knee. That would also be probably a season ender. If Pritchard goes down, the Celtics don't really have a good, viable backup point guard option right now. Teague, it just can't. It doesn't look like he can play big minutes for you. So I think you have to go to the well and see, hey, Isaiah Thomas, we'd love to have you back. Jamal Crawford, we'd love to have you scoring off the bench. One of those two guys, I think it would become a must, a necessity for the Celtics to have to sign. Can't rely on Teague to play big minutes. So that will be worth monitoring. So kind of really, outside of Jaylen, a real, like I said, a bummer of a night. You'd like to see the Celtics be able to split this series or, win both would be the dream scenario. They lost both. So Philly is first place in the East, riding high after, taking care of business against the team that swept them out of the playoffs. That's got to give them confidence. And Celtics really need Tatum back because that Tatum Brown punch is, and then adding Kemba to the mix. That's what the team. If the team's going to be successful, that's what it's going to look like going forward. I'd advocate for less Grant Williams time. He's giving them nothing. I'd even play the rookie Aaron Nesmith over him now because at least he can give them some 3-point shooting. Taco, I would play over Grant Williams right now too. He's in the minutes he's played, he's proven more than Grant Williams this season. I think Brad Stevens has too much of a lenience for guys he likes and guys that he thinks are, intelligent and smart and have a great intelligent and smart's the same thing. Intelligent and high IQ guys, again, same thing. Why do I keep repeating myself? It's because I was distracted by my cat playing with my mints. Brad Stevens, what I'm saying, is just too much deference for guys like Grant Williams, who maybe not have the talent, but he likes them. And Grant Williams has only hurt the team. So on that note, Celtics back in action on Sunday. I'll be back in action on Sunday as well then. Hopefully we get a win. Need to turn this around. You don't want to go on a extended losing streak. Tatum should be back for that game, so we will see where it takes us. We're eclipsing the 9-minute mark, which is usually longer than I like to go with these things, especially in a loss. I'm going to go drown my sorrows by watching something else. I don't know yet what it's going to be. All right, everybody, stay safe. Thanks for watching, and give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, comment. I'll get back to you. All right, see ya.